right. So again, Rick Wegman here. I'm with Cross Country Mortgage. I'm a mortgage lender here in the great state of Texas, and I have today with us Taylor Nixon with Goldstar Distributing, and you guys are located in Plano, right?
Actually, Richardson.
Richardson.
They're very close.
Very
close.
So we're actually here in Rockwall, and we wanted to kind of talk about, what she does and how it relates to the real estate industry as a whole. So the first couple things that I kind of want to ask is, what do you guys do? I know it's appliances and stuff like that, and it's distributors, but you mentioned that you also have a retail channel or division essentially. So
yes.
Can you kind of touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. So very often we actually get retail customers that drive by and they say, I've seen this building so many times, but I had no idea what it was. And then they just kind of wander in, which is awesome. We welcome you. But we do appliance sales, and it's residential. So anything that you might find at Lowe's, you might find with us, but you also will have more luxury items as well. So we really walk both sides of the market. We can price match, and we can take care of you in a great way and offer great customer service.
Yeah.
That you don't always catch at the big box stores, and so that really sets us apart.
I think too, just knowing, I have some history in that type of industry as well. Having people that have been in that industry a long time who know the products well, and it's not just somebody that you hired off the street that just, they used to be in the tool division and now they're in the back selling appliances. You have people that actually understand the appliances, pros and cons of them. They see the returns coming back if there are returns, so the good and the bad of the industry, and they can really guide you to where you want to be as it pertains to price point, reliability, and stuff like what you were mentioning earlier, right?
Absolutely. We have great tenure on our showroom floor. We have some of our sales associates have been there 20, 25 years. Wow. Some 10, some 15. And then myself, I've been working there since I can remember. My grandfather allowed me to come in when I was 8 or 9 and clean the toilets, So it's been
Started
great.
from the bottom.
Yeah, it literally started from the bottom. But it's great. We really do have great experience and great opportunity to express the real truth about each appliance and each product as it's grown, because we've seen it happen.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge plus to be able to offer that to our customers.
And it's not so much people, especially when I shop for appliances, my initial thought is just price point. It's the reason why there's a price point difference mostly is because of feature sets, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a dishwasher that is lower decibels, and that's really what you're paying for, is just sound deadening and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But like you mentioned earlier, Bosch and a few others, they are a premium brand, and they actually do a better job cleaning the dishes, right, than the lower end models. Yes. And there can't be a big price point, but reliability and warranty is also better on those higher end brands. So you are paying for a better product overall, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that really comes and goes with each product that you're buying. So like dishwashers across the board, you're going to have more luxury units versus a lower end that's still going to give you a quality wash cycle. It's just, what are you washing? And that's a question you'll be asked. Are you washing crystal? Is this something you're going to need crystal dry? Are you not? And so being able to go, like you said, features and the feature set for the client is really important to be able to get you the best product. I always say appliances have personality. What's yours? So let's really sit down and figure out what's going to work best for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we can price match you as well at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So we were talking something a little earlier, and your husband had mentioned column refrigeration. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was having a seizure almost. I'm like, what did you just say to me? Yeah. like it didn't make any sense what he was saying. It was so it's column refrigeration, and what you had mentioned to me was that you have the refrigerator side separate from the freezer side, and then you also have like a wine chiller, and so you could do the range in the middle and then refrigerator on one side and the freezer on the left, or you could combine them however you guys want to do it. I've never even seen anything like that, but it sounds amazing.
It is amazing. It's very beautiful. You can make it in so many different configurations, like you said, with the wine center being involved. So we have one particular display that I love, and it has the wine unit on one side, and then it has the refrigeration in the middle, and then the freezer on the next side over. And it is kind of European style, so it's very flush mount with a panel ready unit. So that means that the panels will match the same as your cabinets, or if you have custom panels, you can do. Some people have artwork on them, which is really beautiful.
Really?
It's really cool. It's awesome. And so you can really pick exactly how you'd like your kitchen configured. If you'd like those pieces to be side by side, how we have them in our showroom, they'll flush mount together and almost look seamless. Or if you like your freezer on one side and your refrigerator on another and your wine column in the middle, very easily accessible, then you can swap those and still have the usability of a 48-inch essentially, or a 48-inch plus 24 plus 18.
So how long has that actually been an available product in the market? Is it relatively new, or is it just something that people just don't know about?
It's relatively new. I'd say like in the past 5 to 10 years, it's really been making a heavy hit here.
Okay.
It hasn't been something that's been pushed really hard, especially with all the back orders and everything with COVID. They were really pushing at the beginning, starting to push columns. The manufacturers were offering them and putting them out for display, and it just kind of had a setback, minor setback.
Yeah.
Now they're really back into being able to provide the quantity that they need to consumers.
Yeah.
And they're coming out with some absolutely beautiful interiors. The monogram one, when you open those doors, it's like, I don't know, like if you could hear like, ah, you know, it's really cool.
I just dropped my mic.
Oh.
That's interesting. So with that being said, we also kind of touched on or talked about refrigeration not in the kitchen.
Yes.
So we actually had it where they were putting them in the pantry, and I didn't know that was a thing. Like, what in the hell's going on?
Yes.
Like, don't you want your refrigeration in the kitchen? Why would you want to put it in the pantry? I don't really understand why they're wanting to do that, but that's a thing, right?
It's a thing. It's a huge thing, and we're really seeing a lot of these butler pantries being really where you're cooking. If you're having friends over, stuff like that, and you don't want your kitchen to become a mess.
Yeah.
People are doing a lot of the prep work for dinner in the butler pantry anyway.
Yeah.
So if they go ahead and they put their refrigeration and everything in there, then it kind of changes that access to that's your cooking space. That's your domain for cooking, and all the preparations happening, then you're bringing it to your range and you're keeping that space really clean. So it's more of an experience in your kitchen versus an event that you have to clean up.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's really cool to be able to separate the two. And a lot of people are doing the pantry where the pantry overlooks the outdoor area.
Yeah.
We see that a lot, which is really cool. So putting all the under counter on the same wall that your outdoor area is, and then opening up that window, and then having your other refrigeration behind you, panel ready, so it's closed off. It looks like a real bar if you decide to open that up.
Yeah.
So now you have your pantry, you have a bar for your outdoor area, you have all your preparation area, and your kitchen stays clean. So everybody's happy.
Wow.
It's really cool how the idea has really come out to be like literally event versus experience. You know, who's going to clean it up, because nobody wants to clean it up.
So how do you guys find out about market trends like this? Is it the sales reps from the manufacturers bringing it to you? Is it architectural design for the builders? Are they visiting with you? Like, how does that all come about?
We really and truly have the greatest relationship with our clients where they'll say, hey, I have this build. I want it to look like this. This is what I'm doing. What makes sense here? And then we'll go back and forth and really figure out what makes sense in that space that they've designed. So like our designers are really great about that. We get to look at their plans and like really build out that kitchen and make it make sense.
Yeah.
Builders come in and normally they know what they want, but it's like, hey, I have this thing, I need to fill it. This client had this really beautiful plan and I don't understand why they want this here, you know? So let's figure it out, and then we can make that make sense for them. But also the industry really does a great job of educating us, our team, and really everybody in the industry that's selling the product of what is coming with the next trends, because I'd say that they probably are implementing different designs as well in the appliance industry and sharing those within the industry professional, like the profession as well, because there's these new pieces that come out that wouldn't necessarily make sense in the kitchen, whereas they would really make sense in the pantry. Like the dishwasher drawers where you can pull it out and it's 2 drawers, top drawer dishwasher, bottom drawer also dishwasher. So separating those things, it looks a little bit better in the pantry versus in the kitchen. Just there isn't enough space for it. So little tidbits like that.
You guys are on the forefront of all of these things. So, and again, I'm not trying to knock the big box stores like Home Depot and Walmart or wherever you're buying them, but those sales associates aren't going to know about what's up and coming and what, you know, kitchen design is all about, or just home design in general. So if you're really designing a new home build, you go to Goldstar Distributing, right? You don't go to a Home Depot to try to figure out what you want. You go there to help you design the house. And I think that's really an afterthought for a lot of people in the home build process, is they don't think about that there is someone that will help design your kitchen from the standpoint of appliances and things like that. They just leave it to the builder or the architect. And sometimes the architect don't know what's coming up and coming, right? So they should visit with you at the same time they're visiting, or maybe before with the architect, like, here's what I envision. I'd like to see this. What do you have? And then they can take what you guys have provided to the architect and let them incorporate it into the plans,
Absolutely.
right?
You're spot on. Having a conversation with the architect is so amazing because not only is it going to help you in your budgeting process as you're going through your home build, because appliances do kind of get put on the back burner when it comes to the budget. Like I'll have a client come to me and say, I want this kitchen. Here's my $6,500 budget that's, for my builder budget. And I'm like, that kitchen you just showed me is a $110,000 kitchen, just the appliances alone. But we want to get you what you want. So like the goal is to sit down and figure that out. But having a conversation with the architect, how can we put these pieces, mix and match to get you a kitchen that is going to meet your budget, but also look like you want it to look firsthand, where we're not having to like try to squeeze something into a hole that really doesn't make sense to be there just because you're just trying to fill this hole on a budget.
Yeah.
And so if we knew exactly what we were looking for at the beginning with the architect, we could really plan for that and really make it make sense for the client.
Yeah.
So,
and then something else that you mentioned, say somebody wants to come in and they want to purchase all of the appliances, right? You were saying that you take into account where the home is going to be located as it pertains to service to help further decide on which direction do you go. Obviously the more expensive products are going to obviously have a higher warranty or longer warranty rather, and easier serviceability sometimes, or maybe less. It just depends. But that will be a consideration when picking out an appliance, depending on serviceability. So if somebody's out far East Texas, you're not going to go with something that that's going to go out in 5 years that doesn't have a really good service network. So you're going to reiterate that to the borrower or the buyer, like, hey, you don't want to buy this, and here's why. Frigidaire doesn't have a service technician anywhere close. They're 5 hours away.
yes.
But if you go with this, let's say a Kenmore or something, I don't know if Kenmore's still around, but they have a service in your backyard. So I would steer you that way because this appliance is known to have a lifespan of 5 to 8 years, right?
Exactly.
So, you guys take that into consideration. I'm telling you that the guy at Home Depot or what have you is not thinking about that.
Yes.
He's thinking about what product to push because they're getting a kickback or whatever for the sale, right? So,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Something else that I was kind of curious about was washer and dryer. So I was of the time when, washer was a top load, the old style with the agitator, and the dryer was a front load, and then it made a switch to everything was front load. And now you start seeing top loads again that don't have an agitator in them, and they used to have pedestals. Is that still the thing, like front loads with pedestals, or has pedestals kind of went away? Like,
oh my gosh, so the laundry industry is a wild industry. Like the more education I receive in it, the more I'm like, man, we could talk about this on its own space, yeah, for sure. But it's wild. So the pedestals are still there. I don't think that they're ever going to go away, just because people just think that is like the luxury idea of laundry. Like if you're going to do it, it's easier, not as much bending and everything,
Yeah.
But
you have back surgery.
yeah, literally. And laundry is never fun. That's the thing. But they're putting these new things in. So like the GE has an all-in-one unit. I forget exactly what they're called, but it's all-in-one unit. And they've just changed the branding. That's why they were calling it all-in-one. But it's one single unit that washes and dries on a 110.
Wow.
And it doesn't have to be vented. And it is so cool because imagine you go to work in the morning time, you throw all your clothes in there, and then it washes them and dries them. And then if
it doesn't fold them yet?
It doesn't fold them yet. I know, but I bet it's coming.
Let's go.
I have a feeling
Let's
it's
go.
coming. Yeah.
So I saw those types of washer and dryer combinations together in like a small form factor. Like you saw them in RVs years ago.
Yeah.
So I guess they've just kind of blown that up and made that something that's popular now.
Larger capacity, so you can actually do like a family's clothes. You could actually put all the jeans and everything you need. And then having the 110 option, great for apartments, great for like, your kids going to college and everybody's got to chip in and get this washer dryer. We'll do the combo unit.
Yeah.
And then also like the ease of it, prior I don't think people have always been moving as fast as we do today.
Yeah.
So having access to throw it in and then that unit will wash, then dry, and then it'll keep it cycling so it doesn't get wrinkled until you get home. Yeah.
So what's the cost difference between that and the split units? Is it pretty comparable?
It's pretty comparable. It really is not awful. We have a lot of clients actually putting 2 of those units in their home.
What? Really?
Yes, and it's so cool because the tech on it goes to your Wi-Fi. They have, their whole GE system and everything. It's just really cool to see it because you can be like, oh, my clothes are done.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that was a thing. So going back to just appliances in general, so, there for a long time, probably when we were kids, I mean, off-color white was maybe even a thing, or just a cream white or whatever they called it. Then black got super popular. All the appliances had to be black. And then it was stainless steel. Is stainless steel still the most popular color of appliance that you have, or are they started to move away from that now? What's going on with that space?
That's a great question. So we're really seeing more and more that people, or the appliance industry is offering more customization built into the unit, where you're not having to do it like a panel ready. They're giving you options to give your appliances personality, kind of.
Okay.
So cafe was really big coming in. Like, it was all over Pinterest with the white GE Cafe range and the cafe everything, and they have the rose gold tag. It's really pretty, and it's awesome, and it's really cool. They're one of the only ones that are really pushing that in that way, and they're known for it now, which is, it's awesome because it is a great unit.
Yeah.
But as far as what's popular through the market, stainless steel still owns the space. It really does, because as far as, like, say you're an investor and you're looking for good resale value, you want to go stainless steel. If you're a mom with kids, sometimes you don't want the stainless steel.
Yeah, the fingerprints everywhere.
I am all about, like, no handprints is not a real stainless steel thing. You will have handprints if you have sticky stuff on your hands. Like, you're gonna have handprints on your stainless
What's the best
steel.
way to clean those? Do you guys really know about all that, or is it just?
We do. We actually have a guy, his name is RJ, that works with us at Goldstar. He's been a sales associate forever, and he actually knows how to clean stainless steel properly. And he has friends with a man that owns a company. I can't remember his name, but really cool guy. I think he's actually here in Rockwall as well. But they do stainless steel cleaning. If you get a scratch, dent, anything, they can fix it.
Really?
Which is really cool, because you can fix those. So, like, for, again, investors, real estate agents, anybody that needed, like, a little extra to clean up a space, before a house goes to market or whatever, it's a great option. You can really clean up stainless steel. But with white and black, we are not seeing that as much, other than in rental units.
And rental units, okay. Is it just a lot cheaper? Is that the reason why you think?
It's cheaper, and, like, I think that they just assume it's going to be cheaper. It's not always.
Okay.
We get a lot of promotions on stainless steel. I think it's also, like, cleaner.
Yeah.
It's easier to keep it from getting scratched. And, like, I have a refrigerator that's stainless, and I always have rings on my fingers. So, like, it's got little scratches where I have hit it with the rings.
You need to call that guy out to have him fix it.
I need to. I know him. I need to get it done, but I haven't done it.
So you were also mentioning that, you guys do a lot of work with builders, right? To kind of work with them hand in hand, and they can come in and say, hey, I got this problem. How close do you actually work with builders overall? Do you guys go on site? I mean, do you guys do a lot of consultation with them, like a lot of hands-on with builders? So that's what you guys are actually doing with them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like,
really?
The goal is, like, we are your sidekick. Like, appliances seem like an afterthought until they're not.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy cow, these people are moving into their home tomorrow, and I need this and this and this done. And I can't say how many times my husband has driven, because he works with me. We work together.
Yeah.
But he has driven to the client's house at, like, 8 o'clock at night to figure out, hey, what can we do here? They're moving in tomorrow, and this needs to be right for the client. And it's worth it, because everybody's happy. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about, like, everybody working together. It's not every time that happens, but when it does,
He's there to
jump
take
on
care
board.
of you guys.
Yeah.
So how long before they need to be delivered, do you recommend somebody purchase the appliances, or at least get that sorted out so that you guys can schedule it? What is the usual recommended time?
That is an awesome question. Oh my goodness. Recommended time frame depends on product. When you come and talk to somebody, a sales associate, they're going to ask you that question. If it's a more luxury item, there is a very heavy back order still on certain things. And it's not the worst in the world, but I'd say give yourself a 6-month time frame.
Okay.
On built-in units and things like that, just for safety.
Okay. Anything
that's non-built-in, we're seeing quicker availability now.
Okay.
That shifts. Our market is weird. It'll shift back and forth between. So, like, sometimes we have really great built-in availability or really great range availability, and then it just kind of, like, flattens out really fast. So the market's kind of weird. So giving yourself a 6-month time frame to order really any appliance to be safe is smart. But a lot of things you can get in within a week.
Okay.
Especially with us, we can normally get things in a week.
So let's say somebody does order something 6 months in advance, and the house isn't going to be ready for 9 months. Will you guys hold on to the appliance at your warehouse until it's available?
Yes.
Is there any penalty to do that?
There are no penalties. We'll work with you. In most cases, we try to get things out just as fast as we can, because we don't want it to sit.
Yeah, correct.
Just because nobody wants the product just to sit there.
Yeah.
But we will. We'll work with you and make it happen. And that's our thing. Like, we'll work with you and make it happen. We get to make our own rules when it comes to that, just because we don't have the big corporate, you have to do it this way.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's cool to be able
That's
to
a
do
nice,
that.
the nice thing about having a family-owned company that is as big as what you guys are, to be available to do those kinds of things because you actually care about your clients. You're not in some remote state somewhere and you have no connection with them. You are actually connected with everybody because you live here, you work here. I mean, you guys live not far from here as it is, so
Yeah.
it's nice to have you guys around. So that's pretty awesome. And then, so your husband, what is his primary job for the team essentially? So you work sales, marketing.
Yes, I just took on my role as the CEO. That's what they keep calling me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, I don't know if I'm ready for that."
Yeah.
But I'm here and I'm taking it, so we do what we can. But my husband is the general manager.
Okay.
But he handles all of our logistics. Anytime a client has a problem, but he's definitely the one to chat with.
Yeah.
He gets it taken care of fast,
Yeah.
so he's great with that.
Yeah.
Just deliveries, installation, making sure things go right. He is the guy that is making sure everybody's
Yeah.
doing what they're supposed to do to make sure the client has a good experience.
Yeah.
So he's following through, and he really supports his team. So
Good.
team support is huge, but he's our team builder.
So he's
our
the
leader.
guy that let's say builder partners are going to really work with hand and foot.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're going to be together all the time doing what they got to do. So
Absolutely.
that's going to be the point of contact. So we'll make sure that we include his information on there so they can reach out. Because I work with a lot of builders and they generally care about their clients. So it'd be nice to partner you guys up to help
yeah.
take care of the client throughout.
Absolutely, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Garrett is my brother, so we all
Okay.
work all together.
Yeah.
My uncle's there too, and it's just a whole team. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But my brother spends a lot of time with the builders as well. So like him and my husband Hayden, they really spend a lot of time together trying to make sure everybody's taken care of. My brother handles most of the sales for the building side and the design side as well.
Okay.
So making sure you get the product, insane product knowledge. He can memorize everything in 25 seconds. His brain is wild.
Really?
He's very great at that. So, or he'll go to the location and say, hey, let's walk this together and let's figure this out.
Yeah.
He spends that time. And then my husband is like the quality control. So he's going to be there for deliveries. He's going to be there for installation. He's going to make sure that the backside is going right. So
Yeah.
front, you're working with Garrett, and then the backside, you're working with Hayden.
Now, do you guys do anything else besides appliances, or is it just appliances like refrigeration, ice makers, and stuff like that? Is that all that you guys do, or is there anything else?
So we were in the lighting business for a long time, and we still kind of are, but we're swapping over to a one-of-a-kind commission lighting with artists.
Okay.
So that will happen here pretty soon. I'm really
Okay.
excited
Oh,
to do
that's awesome.
it.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. I really love art. We have an art show every year,
Do you
so
really?
we'd love to
Okay.
have you. You should
Really?
come.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you should come. It's cool. But we allow local artists to bring all their art pieces in and put them on display and kind of mix and match them with the appliances and what's going to fit.
Really?
It's really
Okay.
cool. But the art piece or the light pieces will also be like art commission pieces, one of a kind, and then we'll be sending emails out like, hey, this is what we're receiving. We'll have it on showroom for 2 months or whatever, and then if you like it, come in and see it, and you're purchasing what's in front of you versus from a catalog, because lighting is hard.
Yeah, and when do you guys
hard.
usually put that on? Or when's
so
the game plan anyways?
The art show will be later on in the year. It happens in August, and then the lighting commission should happen in the next 3 months.
Okay.
So we're really
Yeah, make sure to
full speed
share that
ahead.
on social media, because I think there's going to be a lot of people who want to see that.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people do. They try to look online to see what kind of lighting they're going to want. They have no idea. It's just in a catalog, and then you get it in, and it looked like this big piece, but it's probably this big, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Ugh," like a Temu type thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. And there's just so many. I remember when my grandfather used to sit in the showroom and he'd be like, okay, y'all need to sell these lights. We sure do have a lot. And
Yeah.
they change so fast, and the styles change so quickly, and the trends that, like, when I'm putting something in my house, I want it to be, there's a reason that I want to look at it. It needs to entice me. I need to be interested.
Yeah.
So, like, just buying just a random light, being like, that's going to fill the space.
Yeah.
That's not what fills my cup, I guess.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen anybody else really bringing these cool artistic pieces
Yeah.
that you're like, hey, let's talk about this art piece made by so and so.
Yeah.
A
And if
good
they are, they're
conversation.
not out front and center showing that that's available.
Right.
You only know about them if you know somebody who knows about them type of
Yes.
thing. So you need somebody like you that's bringing it to the mass market, saying that we have these things available. You can come by and see them.
Yes.
That's what they really need. Because I think
Yes.
there is some lighting people like downtown Dallas or something like that, but I mean, I couldn't even tell you
Yeah.
who they are, and
But there's
most
some
people don't
amazing
know.
companies, amazing lighting companies in downtown Dallas
Yeah.
for sure.
But nobody knows. You
Yeah.
don't know where to go,
Yeah.
right? So that'd be nice to have you guys in Richardson really pushing that, because I think, obviously real estate just keeps pushing further and further out.
Yeah.
So to have you guys available on that, it's pretty amazing. So,
Yeah.
but I think that's really all the questions that I have, and I think it was a really great conversation. And like I said, hopefully we get to do it again as you guys bring the light stuff, kind of on board,
Yeah.
and do some interviews on that. And then you also mentioned you're going to do another type of podcast. I think it was the Appliance Girl or something like that.
Yes,
Okay.
thanks for bringing it up. So the Appliance Girl is coming. We're very excited. It's kind of rebranding to Tag, and we have a lot of cool partners coming in on it.
Okay.
But I'm excited to have you on our podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's go.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. And it will be supporting trade partners, explaining area, like comps in the area, different houses in that zip code, how you can put the best appliances in and have other trade partners express how they feel about that area, what they can apply to it to give you more value in that area. Along with tons of other things. We'll do a lot of sit downs with interior designers and talk about trends in the market and just really get down and deep on the stuff that people aren't talking about in the
Yeah.
appliance industry for sure. Because there's a lot of questions people just don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, when you guys kick that off, let us know. We'll share it on social media and
Absolutely.
do all that. So again, guys, I appreciate you guys kind of tuning in. And like I said, when the Appliance Girl becomes available, hopefully you guys will check her out. Again, this is Taylor Nixon with Goldstar Distributors in Richardson, Texas.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.